Yeah, I know I said previously that we were done playing catch up, but I decided to take today to catch up on movies that I needed to watch and review. I didn't see all of them, so stuff like I saw the TV Glow, I still haven't seen that. There's still plenty of movies I haven't watched. Some I just don't want to. But I did watch 4 brand new movies today. 4 movies that came out this year that I want to talk about. So, let's start with this one right here. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station. You must for anything animation, including TVs and movies as well. I'm your host, Jackson Small, and yes, what we're talking about this time actually is animation related. It is a live-action CGI hybrid movie. Now, it's not based off of an IP this time. It's not Sonic. It's not it's not Garfield. Nothing like that. No. This is a movie that is strictly its own original thing. And it's also pretty interesting. So, why don't we stop being around the bush and talk about If, the latest movie by John Krasinski. I've seen the marketing for this. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of mixed on it. Like, it looked okay, but at the same time, it just looked okay. And then some of my friends were saying that it was just fine, and then I looked up some of the reviews, they also said it was just fine, so I walked in like, oh no, this is going to be a movie that's just not for me and very, very kid-centered, isn't it? Well, I finally saw it today, and it was anything but. Like, this is probably one of the most surprisingly adult movies that I've seen in a while. Like, yes, it's not like a big action fest, and it is very, very sappy and corny, but the core values of this movie are surprisingly adult for a family movie. And I actually have a lot to say about this one, so sit back, relax, I hope you guys enjoy. Do not forget to stay hydrated, definitely get Circle. No, again, no product, no sponsorship or nothing, this is just me promoting a good product. Man, that's good. Better than Kool-Aid. Yeah, I said it, fight me. And let's jump into my written review of If. Yes, usually I'm more drawn in by the serious, adrenaline-fueled, heart-stopping kind of stuff, but trust me when I say that I do also enjoy a good bit of pleasant, lighthearted sappiness, too. I'm not usually a super emotional person, but every now and then there's that special kind of film that can really tug at my heartstrings. Going into If, I was kind of middling, expectations-wise, after seeing the average reviews it was getting from most people, including some of my friends. But now that I've finally seen it for myself, I gotta say this was a truly wonderful and emotionally touching movie. Pros, great 3D animation. Some of the best 3D animation I think I've ever seen from Paramount. Stellar music. The music is probably my favorite part of this movie. It is such a wonderful original score. A mostly lighthearted tone. There are a few little dark moments here and there, but it's mostly pretty lighthearted and fun. Wonderful voice acting from a stacked cast, including the legendary Rob Paulsen. Yes, that Rob Paulsen. He's the guy that voices the marshmallow that you've been seeing in the trailers. And especially from Louis Gossett Jr. in a very touching final performance. This was the final thing that he was a part of before he passed away. May he rest in peace. Superb runtime of under 2 hours. Very, very quick movie. Outstanding storytelling. Just, man, what a genius concept and a genius idea for a genius movie. Like, what a great story. Seriously, great story. Very hilarious humor, including an unexpected return of the banana character from Amazing World of Gumball. I didn't expect that either, especially considering that's under Warner Brothers, but apparently he's in this movie too. He's kind of a glorified cameo, but he's really funny. I don't have any clue if he's voiced by his original voice actor or not. I need to look that up. Genius concept that's well executed. Like, this movie's concept is freaking genius, and me trying to explain it would just ruin that, so trust me, genius concept. A lot of mind-blowing creativity in the visuals. This movie is absolutely stunning visually. It's bright, it's colorful, it's imaginative, it's creative. it is so cool visually. Not to mention all the different designs of all these different imaginary friends are also really good. Like, really good. Like, yes, they're taking some inspiration from some other things, obviously, but it still works here, and it's still really, really well done. So, yeah, creativity, the visuals are creative and amazing. Excellent directing from John Krasinski. I was not a big fan of his directing in A Quiet Place, and I wasn't really a big fan of his directing in some of his other stuff, but here, this does feel like a loving work of art, a passion project, and I think it worked out really well, in my opinion. A very emotional third act that will make you cry. That this movie's third act is very emotional, so just sneak those tissues in the theater, you're gonna need them. Very memorable characters. I instantly remember all these characters very vividly, especially the imaginary friends because of their unique designs. And a plot twist that completely caught me off guard. There is a plot twist at the end of this movie that I didn't see coming. I should have saw coming, but I seriously did not see it coming. It completely surprised the heck out of me. But that being said, though this movie isn't perfect, there are a few things we do need to discuss. The first thing is the mixed aspect of the movie, and that is that it is very emotional and very, very sappy. Which is going to turn away most people, even if I personally think that was handled well. That's why it's a mixed aspect. I thought it was handled really well, but I know most people like you guys are not really into sappy corniness, so I can see why it won't appeal to some of you, but to those of you that it does appeal to, like me, you'll find a lot to appreciate here. And then we have some problems. Awkwafina's in this movie. Her character is a bubble called Pop, and she is annoying. Like, she's annoying in this movie. Her part's small, but she's annoying. The first act is very, very slow. Like, the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie is very slow, and it does take a while to actually get the plot moving. But once it gets going, it really gets going. The live-action acting is kind of average. No offense to Kelly Fleming, no offense to Ryan Reynolds. They did fine in this movie, but they just didn't really quite sell their characters. That's the one big problem this movie has that I think most people are going to agree with. The actual human acting in this movie, outside of John Krasinski's character, the dad, he is great in this movie. But Ryan Reynolds as the grumpy curmudgeon and Kelly Fleming as the hesitant but chosen little girl to try and help these imaginary friends, they're fine, but they're not very memorable. There is some low-hanging fruit jokes in the second act. Like, in one scene, I'm pretty sure this is in the trailer, so I can talk about it a little bit. There's a scene where they are interviewing some of these imaginary friends to figure out, about them. Like, what categories do they fall under. And there is some moments that do have some fart humor. That's your warning. There is some lowbrow humor. It is still a family movie, after all. It's kind of to be expected. And it has no antagonists or stakes. Like, this is as lighthearted and stakeless as you can imagine. Because it is it's just a very nice movie. It's a comfort movie. It's a vibe movie. But it doesn't really have any antagonists. It doesn't have any villains, and it doesn't really have much stakes. I mean, outside of what's going on with the main character's dad, but that's about it. Outside of that, there isn't really any stakes per se. Overall, though, while it is very sappy and far from perfect, If is an emotionally resonant and heartwarming film that pretty much will make anybody smile, if you're a part of its audience. Sure, it's not for everyone, but I had a truly wonderful time watching this one. Yeah, that's no hyperbole. I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was funny. I thought it was heartfelt. I thought it was touching. But I can't say it's really rewatchable, per se. It's still a great film, though. And if you are part of the audience it's aiming at, you are going to enjoy it. Everyone else, though, you'll be kind of on the fence. So, in my opinion, I think If deserves a final verdict of a strong, well-deserved 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. I think it deserves this high ranking because it did a lot of things right. It's beautifully visually, it is emotionally heartwarming, and it's just a really fun movie. Like, yes, it has no stakes. Yes, there's one character in here that's annoying. Yes, there isn't really any antagonists or much of a plot per se, but it's just a lighthearted, fun movie. That's pretty much all it is, with some really nice emotional resonance with some of the plot lines that they tackle and some of the themes. So, yep, 8.5 out of 10. Definitely check it out. Just make sure you bring tissues with you when you do. The third act of this movie will make you cry. And if it doesn't make you cry, you have no soul. Sorry, that's just the truth. But that is going to be it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And, next review is not going to be fun, because next one I have to talk about a movie that people are praising to high heaven, but I'm going to end up angering the internet. Again. So, I will see you next time for my hot take review of Furiosa.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come.